My name is Gyuwon, and my individual project is an extension of the Tron game that I originally built with my partner. And first, I'm going to show you how to play this game. So here you have the start game icon, and if you click this, the game automatically starts. You actually know that the background music is Pokemon, and there are some like sound features. So if you enter this, the player Tron gives out basic instructions. So what you have to do basically is to try to stay away from this motorcycle Tron by using key directions, and you can also collect items and letters TRON, which will give you score points. That sound right now was the Tron eating items. Even though the items are hidden from the screen, they still exist in the field. So if you eat them, you can see that the point actually goes up. And if you eat R, because I was just caught by the opponent, I was stopped. And now you can see that the score for this game is 31. And if I start again, I'm replaying the game to demonstrate a cool feature of Hall of Fame variable, which is sorting a list in descending order. I'll crash into the motorcycle just because this is a demonstration. And now you have 7 listed in Hall of Fame. And if I play one more time, scoring higher than 7, you will see that the new score input will be listed as number 2, because this program has a function that will sort all the score from best to worst in descending order. And I'll just let the thing crash into me. And also you realize that the game does not end when the program hits when the Tron hits the wall. So now you just saw that the score at 23 was listed as the second item instead of the third item. This is because my program works that way. So if I stop and see what's in the code, here's some citations and what the variables are. And so when the player originally wants to play the game, he or she presses the green flag, and then this starts the game. This broadcasts. So if player game is pressed, this broadcasts player online, which the player will receive and start talking about all the instructions that were given at the beginning, and Also, now after like entering the name and all, the game will start, and you can see here that the game will keep on going until the timer hits 40 seconds, the or the player sprite touches the motor sprite, which is apparently not on the screen. So if you look at this code here, normal mode with speed 0.5, you can see that this is like a block for the program to sense if like the direction keys have been pressed or not. So if upward key is pressed, the sprite will point in direction 0, which is upward, and move in speed steps, which would be 0.5 steps. So likewise goes for other direction keys. And also there is booster mode, which you see that if space is pressed, it moves certain steps. But it's because I put a bigger number here, it means that the sprite goes significantly faster. And it's the same for the motor sprite. So it's actually pointed towards the player, which means that it will just keep like chasing the player sprite. And as an act of courtesy, I set the motor sprite to move after 3 seconds, so that this gives good amount of time for the player sprite to run away from the motor. And also, you realize here that when the player uses the booster mode, the motor sprite also has the booster mode with speed 1, which is quite lower than speed of the player, but it still at least boosts up the speed of the motor. So the player has to be careful of when or when not to use the booster mode. And when the timer hits 40 seconds or the motor hits the player, it'll broadcast game end and play a kind of an evil saying from the actual movie Tron, and then it will hide. And also there are cool features like these, and there's a more accurate description that I put in the comment above. And how they're generated is basically they're generated in this order: Ruby 1, TRON, Ruby 2. So this is generated, Ruby 1 is generated at timer when timer hits 5, T is generated when timer hits 10, R when 15, O 25, 30, and Ruby 2 35. I just put the seconds that way because I just wanted to. And they're generated in random coordinates of the field. So this line here signifies that, and also this goes for all the rest of the items and the letters, so that they don't always like pop up in the same place. So when the player touches, when these items sense that the player is touching them, they play the sound get item, which I can play for you. This sound, so that showing that the player ate them, obtained them, and this will change the score by 1 to 10. So random amount of scores are given, as you can see in this. And also, the most important part of the game, I think, is the score summary block here, which is, if you open it, it uses, so this is basically the sprite telling, the player sprite, at the end of the game, telling a summary of the score, which should be your score is blah, and your collected length of letters, which would be like 4 letters, 3 letters. And here it gives out the best scores history, which would be, so the Hall of Fame variable in this case is a list of all the scores that the different players got. So GyuwonVideo got 31, GyuwonVideo got 23, and GyuwonVideo got 7, right? I just remember that. And the Hall of Fame from block is important because it gives a list, a reverse list of sorted lists. So a sorted list gives a list of assorted in the ascending order, and if you reverse that, it gets the descending order. And if you look at the sorted list, it's basically what we learned in the recursion lab. So it tries to, using recursion, it sorts the values in the list in ascending order. And this also uses the, you can see this is recursion, and this is merge, which we also learned in the lab that you just merge things together, basically. And this is the odd number items. This is also what we learned in the lab. And also even numbered. So basically, when everything is put together, we get a Hall of Fame. And I find this feature very interesting because when I was young, I used to play a lot of games, and I always found the Hall of Fame feature very motivating to keep playing harder and aim for higher scores and whatnot. And also, and overall, I think this game is super fun and engaging because it doesn't have computer artificial intelligence like the program my partner and I built, but still it has cool features like items and add-ons like the booster program and even the sorting thing that will just record all the history of the players and sort them in order. So I hope you found this video very good. Thank you.